Okay. Welcome to Everyday Seminar. My name is Tony, and I'm going to be going over some phonetics, or phonics, quite simply. Phonetics is a branch of linguistics which studies the sounds of human speech. Of course, this time we're going to be looking at English. So, let's have a look at stuff you should hopefully already know. So, first we have the vowels. We've got A, E, I, O, U, and sometimes Y. Each of these has more than one sound. For A, we have the A in father, the A in apple, the A in paper, and the O in all or walk or tall or something like that. For E, we have the E in pen and the E in he. For I, we have the I in big and the I in fire. For O, we have the O in sock, the O in home, the A in cover, and the U in do. For U, we have the A in umbrella and the U in flute. Also, there's another one which is U in like uniform and stuff like that. For Y, we have the I in sky or fly, and the E in like happy. So those are the sounds of the vowels. Here we have the consonants from B to Z with Y again. And these kind of stop or inhibit the flow of air from your throat. So the majority of these only have one sound. Some of them have two sounds, and I'll show you which ones now. So the ones which have two sounds are C, G, Q, S, and X. Of course, we know the sounds for B is B, D is D, F is F, H, H, J, J, K, L, L. We have to kind of roll the tongue like L. M for M, N, P, P, R, T, T, V, V, W, Z, Z, and again we have Y, which makes a Y sound. Okay, so for C, we have two sounds. We've got the hard C, which is K, like in cat, and then the soft sound, which is like S, S, which is like circle or circus. For G, we have hard and soft sound again. We have G, like in gorilla or, I don't know, go. And we have a soft sound, which is like J, which is like gem or gel. For Q, Q is kind of tough because Q is always paired with U, like QU, which makes a Q sound. But if we add an E, it becomes like K, as in like antique. And for S, we have what's called voiced and unvoiced. When it's unvoiced, it's just S, comes from your mouth, your teeth, and your tongue. When it's voiced, it comes from here. It sounds like Z, like Z. For X, if it's at the beginning of a word, it sounds like a Z. It goes Z. If it's at the end or in the middle of a word, it sounds like X. And one other one which is kind of tough is F, which also has voiced and unvoiced, like F and V. Okay, the shape of the mouth stays the same. It's just it comes from here or here. Okay, and voiced sounds like V. Now, there are some rules about which sound will be made by the letter depending on where it is in the word and what it's paired with. But the first rule is kind of, you can't depend on the rules because there are pretty much just as many exceptions to the rules as there are rules themselves. So I'll go over some of the simple rules. There's just a few, so I'll just write them on the board here. Alrighty. So, rule number 1. Every syllable must have a vowel, and that includes Y. Every syllable must have a vowel. A syllable is like a beat, like syllable. So syllable has 3 syllables. The next rule is when 2 vowels are next to each other, usually the first vowel makes the sound and the second vowel is silent. I'll show you some examples. So let's see, when 2 vowels, sorry, there should be 2 vowels are adjacent. The first usually, not always, but usually makes the sound while the second is silent. It's quite long. Okay, this rule might sound kind of hard to understand, but here's some examples, okay? So, e.g., rain. You can see there's 2 vowels here, but we don't say like ra-in. We just say the A, and it becomes a long sound. Rain. Okay, we don't bother about the I. Also, something like neat, which is not like my writing. The A becomes silent. It's not niat, it's just neat. Okay, this becomes the long sound again. So it's neat. Okay, that's our second rule. We can remember this rule easily by saying when 2 vowels are walking, the first does the talking. Okay, so when 2 vowels are together, only the first one does the talking. The other one is silent. Okay, but we need some room here, so I'm going to rub this out. Next rule is that C or G followed by E, I, or Y. Usually, there's that word again, usually makes it a soft sound. And hopefully you remember we talked about soft sounds before. So C's soft sound is like S. G's soft sound is J. Okay, so when it's C or G is followed by E, I, or Y, it's usually a soft sound, S or J. Okay, so some examples. We've got the one I used before. We've got circle. Oops, what am I doing? Circle. Oops. Tough one, cephalopod. Cephalopod. pod. And cycle, like bicycle or tricycle. For G, we have gist, like hopefully you've got the gist of this lesson so far. We have gel or gem, and gym, as in gymnasium. Gym. Those are a few examples. Okay. Our next rule is when a syllable ends with a consonant and has just one vowel in it, the vowel becomes a short sound, like a, e, I, o, or a. So I'm going to rub these out for now. I need the space. Here we go. Okay, so when a syllable, remember that's a syllable is like a beat in the word, like syllable. When a syllable ends with a consonant and has just one vowel, the vowel sound becomes short. Vowel sound becomes short. See, this is quite a long one. That's why I wrote out the ones before. Becomes short. Sounds kind of confusing, but luckily we have some examples again. We have e.g. sock. See, it's just one syllable, there's one vowel, ends with a consonant, so this is short sound. Oh, sock. Then we have duck. Same again, we have ends with a consonant, just one vowel, so it's a short sound, duck. Then a bit longer, truck, same sound. Short sound, it's a truck. And so those are some examples. And our next rule, the last one that we're going to look at today is, right, so when a syllable ends with a vowel and there are no other vowels, the vowel sound becomes long, generally. So let's write this down. When a syllable ends with a vowel, and this is the important part, and there are no other vowels, the sound becomes long. So it's kind of the opposite to this rule. Sound becomes long. This time our examples are quite easy. One syllable word, I. See, there's no consonant, so obviously becomes a long sound. Also, me. See, there's nothing here, so E becomes a long sound. Me. I and me. Then, different word. I used to be a chef, so how about cater? If we show the syllable there, cater. See, this syllable ends with a vowel, and also there's what's called a magic E here. So that's maybe not the best example, but cater. And one more, open. See this syllable, O, pen, there's no consonant here, so this becomes O. It's the long sound. Open. Okay, so those are examples for the last rule. Okay, of course there are many more rules, but we're going to look at them next time. This concludes our lesson for this time. I hope you've understood everything. If you haven't, go back, watch it again, watch it as many times as you want. I'm forever here, I'm on the internet now. Thanks for watching and see you next time.